All right, great stuff. So there are about 48 people in the classroom. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time, guys. I'm going to try to make this session as interactive as possible. Quickly, just for me to know the audience, can everybody just quickly type in the name of your child and the age so that I understand whom am I speaking with and who are the people who are there. So if you are the child yourself, then you can just type in your name and your age so that I understand whom am I speaking with, and let me just kind of try to make it as so there are people who are at the age of 8. So there is Aryan at the age of 9, Arya at the age of 16. I'm just going to take out the ages 17, 6, 10, 12, 18, 15, 18, 11, 6, 13, 14, 7, 15, 18. There are 7 years of age, daughter who's a little younger. There is 17, there is 13, 12, 8, 14, 12. Excellent. 18, so there are a lot of people who know me. Hi, Richa. 18, 16. Richa, I hope you got your niece inside and nephew and niece also inside. Amol has got 14 years of age. Cookie is 13. Diksha is 14. Mira is 13. So, yeah, a lot of people. So, and I think the count is going up. So, what I can see today is that there are children who are between the age of 7 or 8 till about 18 or 19. So, which is a great age group because then I understand what I have to speak. Today is going to be the first session, so I'm just going to try to see whether I am able to modulate my conversation to suit the age group between 6 and 20. As I learn more about the group, as I understand more about the group, then I will try to make my presentations more focused for that group. Is that okay? So how is everybody feeling? How is everybody feeling? All good? All of you guys excited? All right, great stuff. Great stuff. So good to hear and see that. Yeah, just increase the brightness. All right, great stuff. So what we're going to do is we are going to try to, I don't want to have a long session today because today the session for me is to learn about what people want today, the students who are there, so that I'm able to cater to the presentation of the students. So here's what I'm going to do. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, if you have anything that you don't understand, please write it down. There is a Facebook group which has been created. You can ask in the Facebook group, and I will make sure that I give you answers to all the questions that you have. So if you miss out on anything that I say, don't worry about it. This entire session is recorded, will be given to you so that you can go and listen to the presentation again. If you have questions, you can ask us. We will give you answers to that presentation. So listen to me for the next about 20-25 minutes or so. And we will take it up from there, right? Bharat, if you find any questions or doubts, you can respond to the students in the classroom. Otherwise, you can write down the type in your questions and comments towards the end, and I'll give you answers to all your questions and comments. So, welcome all of you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your time. Thanks for taking time out from your busy schedule and attending this. It really means a lot to me. This is a pet project of mine. This is a project which is very, very close to my heart. And in some time, I will tell you why. So I really welcome all the students. I welcome all the parents to listen to this presentation. Somebody just said that to me, saying that not only a lot of children have enrolled for this program, but also a lot of elders have also enrolled for the program, which also means that a lot of older people have suddenly become very young thanks to this presentation, which is a great thing. So there are people who are 40 and 50 years of age suddenly have become less than 20 years of age. So I have succeeded in making a lot of people very young in their life. It's a great thing. In any case, listen to the presentation and we will connect again. So my name is Chetan Pudar. That's my name. I'm also known as Stock Baba. This is the project which I am working on currently, and the name of the project is called as Big Bull. This is a free stock market program for young adults between the age of 7 and age of 20. Right. What we are going to teach you is the professional part of the stock market. So in the entire arena of stock market, there's a lot of things which go on. We will be talking about the professional part of the stock market, right? So first of all, let me quickly run you through and explain to you who we are, and what is this about. Okay, so that's my name, Chetan Pudar. These are my two children. Okay, this is his name is Ved and his name is Arya. Currently, Ved is about 16 years of age, and Arya is about 15 years of age. So Arya is 15 and Ved is 16. They have been learning the stock market from me ever since they were 6 years of age. So that's Arya. He was about 6 when he used to come down to my presentations. They have attended all my presentations at least about 40 or 50 times in one of the institutes, and they always sit from all my programs and all my webinars for last 8 years. So every program that I create, every program that I run, every program that I teach, both my children are always constantly there. Uh, so that's been the story. Arya, in fact, when he was about 6 or 7 years of age, he used to take one small module and he used to teach one small module in my classes whenever I used to have people coming in, and so did Ved. So that's this is Arya. Ved about 3 years back. So ever since he turned when he got into the eighth standard, he got his own trading terminal and he used to sit down and trade. The objective was not to purely make money. The objective was to get that experience, that understanding and experience about the market. Today, he just passed his 10th standard and is waiting to get inside the 11th standard. And he has his own trading terminal. He trades on his own. He makes money out of it. He sharpens his skills on a daily basis. Not only does he do that, but he also goes through all the charts and gives us calls, which we share with our students. So there's a lot of homework which he does for us. There is a lot of discipline which he has cultivated for himself. He does a lot of reading and studying as far as stocks is concerned. Both my children are destined to get into the stock market, in the sense that they are very clear in their mind ever since they were 6 years of age that they want to become professional stock market traders or investors, whatever you call it. I also have my niece who's 13 years of age. She also listens to every program that I have. So there are three constants which always are there. One is two of my sons, and one is my daughter, who is my niece. And most of the programs that I actually create are for these three people. And once I create those programs is when I share with the rest of the people. So that is the basic objective, and they are always there with me. So the way we create our programs is that we make it very, very simple. We make it very, very easy for a child to understand, and that is the objective. So that's great for you. That's me. I have been teaching the stock market for a little more than 12 years. So this is one of my class sessions which I have been taking when class sessions are okay. I must have done a little more than 3,000 classroom sessions so far. In India, I have been teaching since last 2011. While I was in Singapore, I used to teach for Bloomberg's because I used to enjoy teaching. So that's one of my seminars. There have been times where I have had about 200 or 300 people in the seminars, and that's a little bit of me. Right. So who am I and what is that we are doing? So that, like I said, my name is Chetan Pudar. I'm a full-time investor. I'm a full-time trader, and I am also a trainer of the stock markets. When I say a full-time investor means I don't have per se clients. I take my own money and I put my money in the stock market, and that's how I run my family. That's what I do for a living. I'm also a trader, which means I trade my money, and so I invest and I trade, and that is my profession. That's all I do. I really don't do anything else apart from that. I'm a faculty at many institutes in India. I'm on board of about 7 institutes in India. So I have taught I have taught in a pure academic institute like Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management, where I used to teach their MBA and MSc Finance students. So I teach postgraduate level students, which is a derivation of London School of Economics. So the highest program which you can actually do in India as far as stock market is concerned or finance is concerned, is MSc in Trading and Finance. And it is held by a college called Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management. And I am a professor there. That is, I'm also a professor of Mumbai University for the same program. So it's a 2-year program, 4 semesters. I teach the entire 3rd semester. Okay, so that's the academic background of it. So I'm a postgraduate professor who is going to try to teach your children about the stock market. I'm on the board of a broker called Sheikh Khan. I'm one of the senior most trainers. I've been training there for last 10 years. For last 10 years, I'm associated with Sheikh Khan as one of the senior trainers. I am associated with Online Trading Academy as one of the senior trainers. I have done some courses and course curriculums for ICICI Direct, and I have taught many MBA colleges and many MBA programs. I also run my own institute where I teach people how to trade and invest in the professional manner. We have a little more than 16 programs today. So we started with one program 10 years back. Today we have more than 16 programs. We have more than 6,500 students globally across more than 25 countries. All our programs are online today. There have been people who have been my students for last 8, 9, or 10 years. The reason why I started this program is for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that in all my programs, whenever there is a student, we have made it as a rule that if a student has his children who are less than 20 years of age, he gets to learn free in my class. Which means that, let's say, if you are a middle management guy who's about 3 or 4 for and you have children who are 18 and 16, then I think we are probably the only organization in India or outside who allow their children to come in free, and we look forward for training their children. Okay, so that is a constant with us. So while we have made the program free for the children of my students, and whenever we do take a physical class, there are at least about 5 or 10 parents who come with their children and sit in the classroom and attend our professional grade programs, and we teach them how to do it. And we take it very seriously upon us to make sure that we train our children. So my students' children then become our responsibility, and we make sure that they will become successful. So till the age of 20, all the students' children are given free education. They can come inside the classroom for free. In fact, very soon I am also going to make education for the parents of my students also free. So if you have a parent more than 66 years of age and above, you can come down and attend my program called Super Trader Investor free of cost, and we will train your parents for free. And there is a reason for it, and I'll tell you the reason why. So children between so we have a lot of children who are at the age of 2 and 3 and 5 and 7 come to our programs. Very soon we are going to make parents also free, about 66, 67 years of age, so that they can come down and learn for free of cost. The reason why we can do that is because we are not a commercial organization. We are not for-profit organization, so we can afford to do all these things which keep us happy in our life, right? So I'm a full-time investor, trader. I put all my money into the stock market, generate profits out of it, and I run my house. I am a faculty on many institutes in India. I retired when I was 36 years of age. Before that, I used to be in Singapore. I used to head about 7 countries for a Swiss bank. I used to be an investment banker. So I used to be a Swiss investment banker who was managing client portfolios, large portfolios, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million portfolios. And that's when I realized that that's not what I want to do in my life. So I retired by 36, and for last 10 or 11 years now, 10 years actually, I have been on my own and becoming a full-time investor and trader. And the only regret which I have in my life is I wish I would have done this a lot more earlier, right? So what we really do is we run professional grade stock market programs. When I say professional grade, means absolutely the top end of the market, okay? Professional grade stock market program, financial literacy programs, personal development programs, those are the things which I do. The reason why I create these programs is inherently to teach my 3 children. So the objective is very, very clear. The programs which I create are to transfer my skill sets and my knowledge base to my children so that they develop themselves, so that they are way ahead in the race of their career and life. And then I take those programs make sure I share it with the rest of the students who are wants to join in. So that's how we always did it, and today we have a little more than 6,500 students globally, right? So what is the scope of so now that talking about me and who am I is out of the way, we will talk more about the program. Why me explaining who I was important is so that you guys have a little bit of a reference to context about what is that you can expect out of us, what you're looking forward from us. So anything about this, we are not YouTubers. We are, while we have program videos on YouTube, we are not YouTubers. So we really don't care about liking. We don't care about you subscribing to our channel. We really don't care. We are pure teachers, like the old school teachers. Also, this program is completely free, which means that there is no expectation for you to pay us anything. We have actually nothing to sell. There is absolutely nothing to sell. So make sure that you come here, sit with your children, allow your children to learn, grow your children intellectually, give them a certain direction. The reason why we do this is because we want to do a little bit of charity. See what happened to us about 1.5 months back. My son came to me with a name. What was the name? Yeah, so my son came down to me with a name called as Chuck Feeney. Now, if you don't know who Chuck Feeney is, let me tell you, Chuck Feeney is a guy who is about 80 years of age today, and he is a billionaire, which means he is a certified billionaire, and he has taken it upon himself that by the time he dies, he wants to give all his wealth for charity. So he made a lot of money. He is a net investor today. He has been an entrepreneur. He made about $1 billion US dollars, and it is his prime motive in his life that he wants to give everything for charity so as to make the world a little bit better. Okay, and when my son came to me with this about a month and a half back or 2 months back, and he said, "See, you know that this person is doing something like this." That is when I thought that even I don't want to wait till the age of 80 to become to do charity. I want to start immediately. Now, what is that I can do to start immediately? What is it that I can do as charity? That what is it that I can give to the world so that I get involved into charity? And then I thought that the best way of doing about it is to give something which I have the most precious of mine, which is my time, which is my skill set, which is where I share my thoughts, I share my knowledge base, so that I can make people slightly a little bit better in life. So the thought started with my son coming to me 1.5 months back, of a name by the name of Chuck Feeney. You can Google him, and he will tell you why that he's been doing that. And I thought, let me start this as soon as possible. So this is the reason why this project is, and I am able to do that because my organization is not for-profit organization. We don't believe it that way. We feel that we believe in old school teaching. We believe in old school teacher relationships, and we try to form it in that manner. So rest assured, there is no commerciality here. We're not going to sell you anything. We have nothing to sell to you. Come down, sit down, learn, work hard, grow your children, grow their intelligence, take whatever you want from this program, and see that your children develop, because my children are already developing, right? So my eldest son trades almost every day. My younger son knows everything but doesn't do much about it today because he is in the 9th standard. He wants to become a chef. Now the problem, the great part of it is that once you are sorted on your money part, once you are sorted on your career, then you can pretty much do whatever you want to do, right? So my younger son wants to become a chef, and which is okay, but he wants to become a trader first and then a chef later. And then my daughter, who's my niece, she is also going to get into the stock market. So if you have ever gone to a restaurant where you read the sign that the owner eats here, this is a place where I actually teach my children first, and I've been teaching them for last 8 years. And now is the time for me to teach your children if you allow me. So I thank you for that opportunity. So what is the scope of Big Bull? Big Bull is a program which is going to be free forever. It is not going to be for 5 or 10 days or 15 days. It is going to be a perpetual program, which means you be a part of this program and you can remain in this program for as long as you want. The way we will structure this program is that we will come down and have a webinar every 10, 15 days or 20 days, because we also are professionals. Our time for us is very, very scarce, and I have to take energy and effort and time out of my busy schedule to be able to structure this program. I hope you are able to appreciate that. So every 10 or 15 days, we will have a webinar where we will teach you things which you never get taught. So all the things that I'm going to talk about in this program, you will not find it on YouTube. You are, because we are not YouTubers. Like I said, we are hardcore professional teachers who teach MBA and MSc level programs and professional grade programs. So what is the scope of Big Bull? The scope of Big Bull is very simple. It is a financial literacy program. So we will talk about financial literacy for our children. See, what happens is our school, our college, our postgraduate level teaches us everything in the world, but it does not teach about financial literacy. And the worst part of life is that we, from morning to night, everything in our life gets dictated by finance. So we work for people for finance. We don't work for people because we don't get paid enough. We buy certain things because we have the money. We don't buy certain things because we don't have the money. We do certain things because we have the money. We don't do certain things because we don't have the money. We spend time away from our children with our bosses because we need the money. If we had the money, we would probably spend more time with our children. So the objective is very simple: from morning to night, from first day of January till the last day of December. In one way or the other, everything is a decision of finance. And I thought once you're sorted out in the decision of finance, everything falls in place. To give you an example, I get to spend about 80% of the time with my children on a daily basis. Okay, and I've been doing that for last 10 or 11 years of my life. When we go for vacations, we go for 2.5 months vacations. It means we actually fly out of the country, we stay out of the country for 2.5 months, travel wherever we want, without ever to think of how much money we have to spend. Okay, every summer we take a vacation for 2 months, 2.5 months outside the country, and we can travel wherever we want to travel, right? And the reason why I'm able to do that with my children and spend so much time with my children is because the finance has been taken care of, and the reason why that happens is because of financial literacy, right? So we are in this program. We are going to talk. We're going to teach our children a little bit about financial literacy. We're going to teach our children a little bit about money, how money works. So there is a little bit of a smell to money. There's a little bit of a patterns to money. There's a little bit of a way in which money works. There are things which rich people do. There are things which poor people do. There are things which middle class people do. The rich become rich because they do certain things. Poor become poor because they do certain things. Middle class remain middle class because they don't do certain things. So that is part of financial literacy and money. So we will talk a little bit about that. We will talk about the stock market. What is the stock market? How it works? We will teach our children a little bit about mutual funds. What are the career in the finance? What are the career in mutual funds? What are the career in the stock market? What is the education required for it? Okay, what is the education required for it? What do you have to learn? What do you don't have to learn? Now, unfortunately, while we become MBAs, and I have taught a lot of MBA schools, nobody really teaches, even in an MBA school, how to really manage your money in the stock market. So there are specific, very, very categoric and specific courses, very, very categoric and specific mindsets which are required for you to be making money in the stock market as professionals, where you always make money. So most of the time people think that stock market means risk, stock market means losing money. Is none of those things really. Okay, hear it from me. Okay, there is a certain things which you need to know in your life. Once you know those, you can make money for the rest of your life, like literally. But you have to learn those. So we'll talk a little bit about education about that. And while we talk about all these hardcore topics, we're going to try to make it as fun as possible and as easy as possible, so that the children enjoy it, so that their children are able to absorb it. The idea today is not to make your child a financial Einstein. That's not the objective. The objective is to impart a small capsule inside the intellect of your child to change a little bit of his direction so that he moves a little bit towards his goal faster. Okay, so if you're coming down and thinking that I'm going to attend this lecture and my son is going to be a more financial Einstein, that's not going to happen. Learning finance takes a little bit of time. But yes, today, that one or two crucial and important steps will be taken by your child as far as your thinking is concerned. If they would not have taken that steps today. They would probably take that steps at the age of 35 and 40, and that is going to be too late. So if you change a little bit of a direction of the child, then he is going to end up reaching his goal faster, is my objective. Right? Now, let me also tell you a little bit of a caveat. Okay? Children learn watching their parents more than they learn their teachers. Okay? So no matter what I teach your child, if you have not learned it, then your child is watching you and learning from you. So the primary onus or the primary ownership of your child learning is on you, because he is going to mimic you. He is going to absorb subconsciously everything that you teach him. Be very careful about it, okay? Because your child is observing you and learning from you, right? But while that happens, for the rest of the stuff, we will teach your children and we'll try to make it as easy as possible. Don't worry about it, right? So why this? Why is this program created? Apart from Chakini and apart from we running programs which are not commercial, so that we don't have to answer anyone and we really don't care. There is a reason why, and the reason is Ketan Parekh. Now, a lot of you would know of Ketan Parekh, a lot of you people you would not know of Ketan Parekh, but here's what I'm going to tell you. But I'm pretty sure all of you know about Harshad Mehta, because especially after the web series Harshad Mehta, which has become so popular, everybody knows Harshad Mehta. So Ketan Parekh was the chela of Harshad Mehta. So Ketan Parekh and Harshad Mehta were from the same clique, right? And the reason why I got into the stock market is because of Ketan Parekh, right? Here my story is very interesting story. Harshad Mehta was in jail. Ketan Parekh was the one who was upfronting his organization and his monies. I met Ketan Parekh by accident in 2001 when I was an MBA. So I was an MBA finance from a very reputed college, and I was one of the guys working for a bank who actually physically took the check of 345 crores and gave it to Ketan Parekh. So Ketan Parekh had come down to my office, our office, not my office, and I was the person who had taken the check of 345 crores and given it to Ketan Parekh, which Ketan Parekh lost that entire amount of money, right? So if you don't know about Ketan Parekh, Google search him, you will find out. So he was just as big as Harshad Mehta. His scams were just as big as Harshad Mehta's, and he was one of the cliques of Harshad Mehta. So when I met Ketan Parekh, I was a young 26, 27-year-old guy who had to give that check, and I thought to myself, and I asked myself, saying, what is it that he knows that I don't know? Because I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm hardworking, I'm ready to learn. So why is it that I make 40,000 rupees a month at that point of time as a beginner of my organization, 40,000 rupees a month, and he gets to get a check of 345 crores. So what is it that I get 40,000 rupees and he gets 345 crores, and I have to give that check to him when I know that I'm very intelligent? And so that is when that thought came to me, that I want to know what he knows. I want to do what he does. I didn't want to defraud people, but I wanted to know, because if he's been given so much amount of money, then he does have the skill set, he does have the knowledge, he does have the experience, he does know how things work. And I want to know the skill set, the knowledge, the working, and the experience, so that I am able to make as much money as he. So that was a thought which came to me. So the reason why I moved towards the stock market is because of Ketan Parekh. And this is a small story about it. Very interesting. If it wasn't for Ketan Parekh, I would not be in the stock market. So it was a very simple question. So what does he know that I don't know, that he gets paid so much and I don't? So immediately I went to my dad and I asked my dad, I said, Dad, you know what? I met this guy by the name of Ketan Parekh. My name is Chetan Pudar. His name is Ketan Parekh. It sounds also very similar. But I want to learn about the stock market because I've heard that he makes a lot of money. So since I have heard that he makes a lot of money, do you know anyone who can teach me what Ketan Parekh knows? And my dad was a doctor, so he used to know a lot of people. So I went and told him, please, can you find out someone, or can you find out a place where I can go and learn things that Ketan Parekh knows, that people trust him enough to give him 350 crores, to put in the market. And my father said, no, I don't know anybody. And from that day onward, this is in 2001 or 2002, is where my journey of finding out skill sets and knowledge base about the stock market started. So that was that day, and this is this day, and it has been about 19 years so far that I have been into the stock market with the sole intention that I wanted to become a part of the stock market. And about 10 years back or 11 years back, I retired from banking as an investment banker. And I said that while I can do that, I'm going to share my knowledge with other people so that if somebody is ever going to ask his father, where can he learn this information? His father is not going to be finding a blank. That was the intention. And with the same intention, I started teaching my children so that my children are having access to the information which I never had. And I came from a very middle class family. So being from a middle class family, it was very, very important that I learn on. So here's the whole story about Ketan Parekh and me teaching my children and me teaching your children. So, what is the stock market? Now, while we are going to talk about the stock market, what is it about? What is it about the stock market? Is stock market a career? Well, so let me put it in this manner. Okay, there are people who are managing. Everybody has money into the mutual funds, and while everybody has money into the mutual funds, somebody has to be managing that mutual funds, right? So, who is managing that mutual funds? There are people who are managing your mutual funds. Now, what is it that they know? Where did they get their education? If your children get the same education what they got, then probably your children will also be able to manage as much big monies as they are managing, and probably manage mutual funds for other people. What you guys don't know is that these people get paid a lot of money. Average uh, salaries of a trader in India in a place like a treasury of a bank is roughly about a crore rupees. So your starting salary for anybody to join a treasury of a bank is about 1 crore. So like whenever you're putting your money into mutual funds, whenever you're putting your money into stock, into fixed deposits, whenever you're putting your money into savings account, what happens to that entire money? What happens to that 50,000 crores, 70,000 crores of all the fixed deposits that you have around the world? Where does it go? Who's managing it? It is managed by the treasury. So treasury manages all that money, and now there are people in the treasury who are sitting down and trading with that money of yours. Okay. Now, so those are one of the highest paid people in the industry, right? So you want to know what is it that they know, which you can teach your children so that your children can get into the treasury. Because one of the highest paying jobs in the world are of a treasury. Okay, one of the highest paying jobs. Let's say, for example, let's say your child becomes IIT IIM and IIM Ahmedabad. IIT Mumbai, IIM Ahmedabad. For all practical purposes, a company like Goldman Sachs or UBS or Credit Suisse or Deutsche Bank or Lazard or Callion will come down to his organization, hire your son for almost about $1 million. That's about 6-7 crores. Take him to London, train him for about 3 months, and make him a trader. So the highest paying jobs in finance are always in the treasury. The highest, highly and highest educated people in the who work in the treasury usually come from A-listed colleges around the world. So whether you talk about Harvard or Kellogg's or Wharton or Princeton or Stanford or UCLA, all the top people from the finance industry get into the treasuries of the banks to trade. So the only problem is that most of us don't know of it, right? So are there careers? Is there actually a career in the stock market? There are massive careers in the stock market. Yeah. So like when we get up, when we are slightly younger, we tell our parents that I want to be a doctor or an engineer, but I have never really heard anyone except for my children saying that I want to become a trader, because actually trading are the highest paying jobs in the industry. In fact, I have a friend of mine. Her brother works for a bank called as called Nomura. He gets paid roughly about $4 million as a trader. $4 million as a trader. Bonuses are plus plus. Okay, so there is a lot of career there. There's a lot of learning there. There's a lot of intelligence used there. There's a lot of skill sets to be used there. That's one part of it. So we will take a separate module for career along the way. So maybe after about 15 days or 1 month, we will get into the careers of the stock market. Second is there is a lot of investing opportunity for yourself. What most of us do as middle class people or people who don't understand the stock market is we spend our money and then take some amount of money and then put it into the stock market. But there are ways where you could put bigger amounts of chunks in the stock market and make about 15, 20% returns, 25% returns year after year for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So there are ways and means of doing that. You have to learn a certain things. So most of the people come to the stock market for investing their surplus. Now, if you move investing the surplus to investing your larger chunks of money, your financial bank accounts would look different. Most of the people come into some people come into the stock market like me for the primary source of income. So my primary source of income is in the stock market. There are this whole industry about the stock market, right? Almost everybody who is rich in the world is into the stock market. Mukesh Ambani is in the stock market because his Reliance gets floated in the stock market. The richest guy in the world, which is Bill Gates, is in the stock market because Microsoft gets traded by in the stock market. Apple shares get traded in the stock market. So all the rich people are in the stock market, and all the people who are in the stock market for a long period of time and then become rich. So there seems to be some correlation between rich people and stock market, right? Now I don't know whether this turns this one or this turns this one, but there definitely is a correlation. And wherever there is a correlation and causation, then you might want to be there, right? So what is it about the stock market? There are careers in the stock market, which we will talk about in a module. There are investing avenues. There are how do you, if you want to create a primary source of income, we will talk about that. We will talk about the entire industry in the stock market, and we will talk about how. To give you an example, most of us have Maggie at home. Now, when you are eating Maggie, right? It's the simplest example. All of us drink Nescafe at home. All of us eat Maggie at home. We eat Maggie, we produce profits for the company, the profits for the company goes to the company, it increases the stock price. So while we all focus on eating Maggie, nobody focuses on increasing the things about actually the profits of Nestle company, right? So very interesting, isn't it? So while we all talk about eating Maggie, while we all talk about about Nescafe, but nobody at our home discusses that these products are so successful, I should make money out of it. And this is what I want to talk about in this program is financial awareness. So what is the stock market? Is stock market full of scams? No, there are scams. There are scams everywhere in the world. Okay, wherever there is money, wherever there is power, there will be scams. That doesn't mean stock market is full of scams. It's not like that. Okay, there are in all aspects of life, there are always people who are a little bit corrupt. In stock market also, there will be people who are a little bit corrupt because wherever there is intelligence and wherever there is lack of ethics, you will always find corruption. So, and stock market is full of money. So money breeds power. Power. If a person has a lack of ethics, there is going to be scam. So is stock market full of scams? No, it is not full of scams. There's a lot of very, very good people in the stock market. There are very, very intelligent people in the stock market, very, very sensible people in the stock market. And I'm pretty sure my children, 100%, are already in the stock market. And I'm pretty sure you would also want to get your children in there. Are stock markets complicated? Really, not really. Okay. They are simple, but they are not easy. Stock markets are fairly simple. They are fairly simple, but they are not easy. You have to do a little bit of learning. You have to do a little bit of skill set, increasing your skill sets. Are stock markets random? A lot of people say that I don't understand what's happening in the stock market. You don't understand what's happening in the stock market because you have not been taught to understand. Like, for example, if you take my 17-year-old son, he can sit down and look at what's going on. He can tell you exactly what's happening in the stock market almost all the time. So there are some times in the market where you don't understand it. But those are very few times. But rest of the times, my 16-year-old son will be able to sit down and actually tell you exactly what's happening in the stock market. So they're not as random as you think they are, really. They are very, very predictable. And the reason why they're very predictable is because stock market are formed by people. And people are predictable. And because people are predictable, stock markets are predictable. So that's how it works. Can you learn the stock markets? Of course. When a middle class boy like me started learning, and when my children can learn, I'm pretty sure you can also learn and your children can also learn. Yeah, is stock market about finance? No, stock market is really not about the finance. It's an amalgamation of finance and science. The reason why it is amalgamation of finance and science is because finance because of all the balance sheets, science because it's actually a science. It is based on a subject called as behavioral economics. Behavioral economics or applied finance. Behavioral economics is psychology. Psychology is science. That's why stock market is science. That's why we run a program called MSc in Trading and Finance. It's not MBA in Trading and Finance. It's MSc in Trading and Finance, Masters of Science in Trading and Finance, because it is a part science. Okay, and for you to get your child in a program like MSc in Trading and Finance in Mumbai, you will have a cutoff of 99.5% in your CAT. So it's a very highly coveted program. Only 27 students are allowed inside the program in India. Only 27 students, cutoff being 99.5 in your CAT. And then you have to go through a GDN interview. So it's a very coveted program, right? So are there always losses in the stock market? Not really. I have been in the Indian stock market, specifically in India, as a full-time investor for last 10 years, and I have always for last 10 years made profits. Always. Okay. Are there ways of doing it? Yes. Are there techniques of doing it? Yes. Can you learn them? Yes. All of this is very, very much possible. So a lot of people feel that there are always only losses in the stock market. That's not true. Yeah. So we're going to try to teach a little bit of that to your children if you give us a chance. So, what is the stock market? For me to explain to you what is the stock market, first of all, I'm going to try to explain to the children what is a business. So, what's a business? Business is anything that you get inside in order to make money. Let me explain this business to you so that then I can explain to you what the stock market is. Okay, let's say, for example, I am a person, I want to run a business of what is called as making ice creams and selling ice creams. I want to be in the business of making and selling ice creams, right? That's the business I want to be in. Now, let's say I have a limited amount of money and I open a singular ice cream parlor. I don't have too much money, so I can only open a single ice cream parlor, but I have the recipe of making amazing ice creams. I know how to make amazing ice creams, but I can only afford to make a singular ice cream parlor because it's expensive. So what will I do? I am 100% owner of that ice cream parlor, right? But and I need more money because I know that I can make amazing ice creams. A lot of people come to my ice cream parlor. So if a lot of people come to my ice cream parlor, I want to create 20 ice cream parlors like that. But I don't have the money for it. Okay, let me say it again to you. I know how to make ice creams. I make fantastic ice creams. People love my ice creams. I can only afford to make one, but now I want to make 20 of them. So what do? I need money for it. So I will go to the market and I will meet 10 people, other people who are rich, and I tell them, look, my ice creams are amazing. Okay, I 100% own this business. If you want, I can sell you some portion of my business to you so that you give me some money. Okay, so let's say if my business of ice cream parlor is 10 lakh rupees. Okay, I will go to another investor and tell him that, look, my ice cream parlor business is 10 lakh rupees. I will share you 10% of my business for 1 lakh rupees. You give me that 1 lakh rupees, and I will give you 10% share of that stock market of my business to you. And you become my partner because you own 10% of the shares of my business. Now, with that 1 lakh rupees, I will try to open another ice cream parlor. Now, if I do that with 10 people, then 10 people will give me money and I will share my business with 10 people. That is called as selling my stakes or selling my stock. Okay, so far everybody understood? Selling my stock. So when I am selling a part of my business, when I'm selling a part of my shares to somebody else to take money to grow my business, it is called as selling shares. Now, this is how me selling shares come about. Now, So what is the stock market? The stock market is a market. It's like a mall where people come and buy. Like you go to a mall and you want to buy stock, you want to buy shoes, and you want to buy clothes, and you want to buy food, and you want to buy ice cream, and you want to have fun, right? So people go to a mall to buy, sell, buy things. There are also people who sit in the mall to sell you things. So it's a market. Mall is a market. Similarly, stock market is also a mall. Now, what happens in that mall? It is a mall where people who want to sell their shares come and sell, and people who want to buy their shares also come and sit there and buy the shares. So basically, a stock market is a mall where people will come and buy and sell the stocks and shares of the companies they own. That's how simple it is. And that's all I want you to remember. So, what is the business of stock market? Business of stock market is about buying and selling stocks of companies in order to make profits. Okay, very simple. So this is the basic concept that I want you guys to remember. I'm going to later take some lectures to explain this a little bit more so that your children can completely remember this in this manner. So stock market is a mall where you can go and buy stocks. That's it. And if you own stocks, then you can go and sell stocks. So either you are going to buy shoes of Nike, or you are the person who's selling Nike shoes. That's it. Okay, that's the stock market for you. So stock market is a place where you buy stocks and you sell stocks. That's how simple it is. Now, so when you come to the stock market, there are four words which usually come in the mind. One is called as trading, one is called as investing, one is called as fundamental analysis, and one is called as technical analysis. There are four words which always come to our mind. Now, let me explain in the simplest possible manner what are these four words. Okay, so let me start off with this word called fundamental analysis. So, what is fundamental analysis? Very simple. Fundamental analysis basically means knowledge and information of someone. That is fundamental analysis. Let's say, for example, I meet you for the first time. Okay, I need to know who you are, what you do, what's your education qualification, what you like, what you don't like, what food you like, where do you stay, what do you want to do in your future. What is that? Fundamental analysis. If I am sitting down and trying to understand who you are, what you do, what is that drives you, and how successful or motivated you are in your life, I am doing fundamental analysis on it. That's it. So similarly, if I want to find out what a company is doing, I want to find out what the business of the company is. So hence I do fundamental analysis of the company. I am analyzing the company to find out what is the potential of the company. Like if you come and tell me that I, sir, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I've been standing first in my class, then if everything remains constant, there is a very high chance that your post graduation also you will come first. Why? Because you have a certain discipline, you have a certain mindset, you have a certain motivation, you have a certain habits, and those things will are making you come first. Similarly, if a if a business is constantly performing very well, so business is constantly going ahead in their life and coming up with very good products, and there is also a very high chance that it will become successful there. And if the company becomes successful, the stock price goes on increasing. So here's the mantra. Mantra is very simple. If the company is doing well, if the products are doing well, there is a very high chance that the stock price will go up. If the company is not doing well, if the stocks are not doing well, there is a very high chance that the price will come down. Can you guys remember this? Very simple. Company does well, businesses do well, it comes up with products which you really like, price will always go up. If they don't do that, price will always go down. So this is fundamental analysis for you. Let's go to investing. What does investing mean? Investing simply means that you are buying the stock of a company. Like I gave you an example earlier that I am an ice cream manufacturer. I go and tell somebody that, listen, I will give you 10% of my business. You give me 1 lakh rupees. So the person who is putting 1 lakh rupees with me is a investor. And 1 lakh rupees that he is given to me is his investing, is his investment. The person who gives me the money is an investor. Person, the amount of money which he gives me is called as investing. That's it. That's how simple it is. There is really nothing more complicated to than that. Then what is trading? Trading is simple. Buying and selling is called trading. Okay, in the stock market, if you are having a paper and pen, just write down there are only two things which you can do in order to make money in the stock market is when you buy and you sell, or you sell and you buy. Let me say it again to you. In the stock market, there are only two ways of making money. You buy low when the prices are low. You sell high when the prices are high. So you buy at 100 rupees, you sell at 400 rupees, you make profits of 300 rupees. Buying low, selling high, make profits of 300 rupees. That's how you make buy low and sell high. Inverse of it, there is selling high and buying low. You sell at 400 and buy at 100. You also make profits of 300 rupees, but selling first and buying later is called as short selling. So don't worry about it. I just want you to remember this word called short selling. I want you to know that there is a word called short selling. And later in the later lectures, I will explain to you what short selling is. Okay, so there are two ways of making. When you buy first and you sell later at a higher price, it is called as going long. If you are writing with a piece of paper, you write it down called going long. So you buy at a cheaper price and you sell at a higher price, it's called as going long. But if you sell at a higher price first and buy it at a lower price later, it is called as going short. So there is a going long and going short. So that is trading for you. Okay. Now, what is trading? Trading is, don't complicate it. It's very simple. Trading is buying and selling. You go down your house, okay, you go and find a fruit wala. He is also trading. He goes and buys fruits at a cheaper price. He sells it to you at a higher price. He's trading. The guy who's selling chanas on the street is also trading. Yeah. So anywhere where there is buying and selling happening, there is trading happening. And the last is what is called as technical analysis. Technical analysis is the study of charts, is the study of price of charts. So I'm going to have a completely one module on technical analysis for the children. Okay. But what I want you to remember right now is reading the price of the chart is called as technical analysis. Like both my children are highly trained in technical analysis. My elder son is absolutely fantastic with technical analysis because he's been doing it for the last 7 or 8 years now. Like absolutely the pro grade and above pro grade. So technical analysis. So if my children, I know a lot of the children of my students who know technical analysis at the age of 2, 3s and 5s. Okay, don't be surprised. There are a lot of children who are like that. Okay. So if you have any questions, we are going to ask you later. But before that, before I sign off for today, I'm going to show you certain things so that you guys remember it. Now, this is the chart of Nike. This is called as a price chart of Nike. Okay, this is the technical analysis chart of Nike. All of us wear Nike shoes. All of us enjoy Nike shoes. All of us, especially as teenagers and as children, we love Nike shoes. If instead of buying a Nike shoe, okay, if you would have bought the stock of Nike shoe in 2006, it would cost you $8. Okay, it is in dollars because it is in the US. The same in about 12 years time, from 14 years time, not 12, from 2006 to 2020, the stock of Nike has gone from $8 to $130. Okay. So if you, instead of buying a Nike shoe in 2006, you would have bought the stock of Nike in 2006, you would be able to buy at least 150 more pairs of Nike today, 150 more shoes. Okay. So in 2006, it was 9 rupees. In 2020, it is 130. So next time when you look at, and this is how I have trained my children, that rather than buying Nike shoes, buy the stock of Nike. If you buy the Nike shoes in 2 years' time, they will get destroyed. But if you buy the stock of Nike, you will be able to make 20, you'll be able to buy 20 more shoes in about 2 or 3 years' time. Okay. So this is the stock of Nike. This is the stock of Adidas. All of us like Yeezys, all of us like Adidas. The stock of Adidas in 2005, sorry, 2009, okay, was 17 rupees. Today it is 157 rupees, which means in 11 years, the stock of Adidas has gone up 10 times. So in 11 years, you would have been able to, with the same amount of money, buy 11 extra pairs of Adidas shoes. Okay. This is Apple. iPhones. All of us like iPhones. Okay. In 2019, January, the stock of iPhones or Apple was about $35. Today it is $117, which means in 1.5 years to 2 years time, you would be able to buy four new iPhones. So in 1.5 to 2 years time, if you would have understood what stocks are and are able to buy that stock, you would be able to make four iPhones instead of one. Okay. Netflix. All of us sit down and watch Netflix at home. I'll just show you something. In 2016, the price of Netflix was $120. Today it is $500. So in 4 years' time, instead of only watching Netflix, so I'm not saying that don't watch Netflix, I'm not saying don't buy Nike shoes, but I'm telling you because a lot of students are intelligent, you need to go back and tell your mom and your dad that while we spend on Nike shoes, please also spend and buy some Nike stock because it will make money for me. While we sit down and take time and entertain ourselves on Netflix, let us also put some money on Netflix stock so that we make money. So not only do we watch Netflix, we also make money from Netflix, and actually watching the subscription on Netflix comes completely free to us. Okay, this is the best one, 10 cents, which is PUBG. So a lot of kids play PUBG. Okay, now let's have a look at the PUBG thing. In 2013, 10 cents, which is the owner of PUBG, was at $7. Today it is $78. So in about 7 years, you would have been able to make 10 times more money from 10 cents. So while the rest of the world is busy playing PUBG, while the rest of the world is wasting its time playing PUBG, you would actually be able to make money out of everybody else playing PUBG. LVMH, Louis Vuitton. So if some of you guys are of the type who like classy stuff, Louis Vuitton in 2009 was 60 rupees. In 2020, Louis Vuitton is 430 rupees. So if you like bags of Louis Vuitton or if you like t-shirts of Louis Vuitton, you can actually make money from all the things which we use on a daily basis. So let me just show it to you. So there's a stock of Nike, which you use and enjoy. You can make money out of it. Adidas, you can make money out of it. Apple, you can make money out of it. Netflix, you can make money out of it. PUBG, you can make money out of it. And this is how my children think. They say that I don't want to buy a Nike shoe. I would much rather buy a stock of Nike so that I make money out of it. I don't want to buy Adidas shoes. I would much rather buy Adidas stocks so that I make money out of it. And this is the way. So next time you sit down and look at any of these charts, you need to go and tell your dad and mom that, you know what, it's okay to watch Netflix, but why don't we actually buy some stocks of Netflix so that we make money along the way. So with this, I'm going to come to today's session. I'm going to come to the end of today's session. I thought this was my first session, so I didn't want to make it very, very heavy. So I've just touched upon very, very simple concepts. Second and third time onwards, I start getting a little bit more deeper. Now, if you have any questions or comments, you can ask me and I'll answer you what those questions and comments are. So just go a little slowly. So Kajal is asking me, he thinks red and green candles to be a type of video game. Kajal Malik, yeah. So and how to inculcate interest in 8-year-old? He thinks the red and green candles are type of video games. So the fact of the matter is that red and green candles are a type of video game, and they are end up very simple. So maybe later during the part of the sessions, we will take a little bit on charting. We will take a little bit on candlesticks. We will teach your children a little bit of charting and candlesticks. So at that point of time, best is you sit with your children and learn along with them, so that they watch you learning, so that they learn themselves. Right, Kajal? So I think that would be the easiest way possible. Deepa, so when is the next session? The next session we will put it on Facebook. So everything is going to be put up on Facebook, including this recording of this video. You have any, the major correspondence will be always on Facebook. In fact, over a period of time, I'm going to shut down WhatsApp, because you don't know who really gets inside WhatsApp. It's a security flaw. So everything will be on Facebook. If you have any questions or doubts, you can DM me directly, or I will put it up on Facebook and I will be able to give you answers to that. Right? Thank you, Mayank. I hear you. Thank you for your why the name Big Bull, because I felt Big Bull, bullish is a state of mind. Being bullish means being positive. That's called a Big Bull, means your small children end up becoming more and more positive. That is the word Big Bull. That is the reason why the name word was selected as Big Bull. Bullish is a state of mind. Bullish is being positive. Bullish is being optimistic. Bullish is being explosive in life. Bullish is being, becoming bigger and better in life. So that is being bullish in life. When I say I'm bullish about life, it means I'm very positive in life. And when you say big bull, which means you would want your children to be big bulls, right? So that's the name Big Bull. Mayank, thank you so much, Mayank, for the question. Deepa's question is, when we eat anything, how does the price go up? So Deepa, hold this question, just type this question down on Facebook, and next time when I have a session, I will give you an answer to that. Today was the first session. I just wanted to understand what's going on, so that I will get a little bit more deeper into the sessions once I start a little bit more. Is that okay? Atish George is asking, how would you suggest that we view the price chart and stock prices, so that we can have a bit of experience in it? Atish, we will teach you a little bit about the basics of reading a chart, so you'll have to hold on for that, right? Atish, so just hold on for some time, or type this question on the Facebook group, and I'll put up a entire thread of questions, so you can type that question, and I'll give you answers to all your questions. Paul Karanje is asking me, sir, will masterclasses and game changers be included in Big Bull session? No, Paul. Darling, masterclasses and game changers are sessions exclusively for my students, and masterclasses and game changers are meant for slightly advanced students and who are very serious about studying. This is more of a beginner and introductory program. So yeah, you can attend master classes and game changers, because your sister is enrolled into it, but it will not be applied here. Okay, but I assume that you enjoy master classes and game changers. Sandeep Borade is asking, will we be touching more about career options in the stock market? Yes, we are going to touch a lot more about the careers into the stock market. We are going to do that. Like I said, today is just a first session. I just wanted to gauge the interest of the people. I just wanted to get the dedication of people. So once I understand that a little bit more, and we develop this group a little bit more, and we understand each other more, I will touch upon all these things. So Sandeep, we are going to do that. Don't worry about it. Kaira Shah is saying, stock, investor, trader, financial literacy. Yeah. Kanchan Nalavade is saying, sir, any good reads to start with? Kanchan, any good reads? There is a book by the name of is that Rich Kid Poor Kid? Yeah. So you can take this book called as Rich Kid Poor Kid, or by Robert Kiyosaki. You can ask your child to read that. In fact, my son, by the time he was about 7 years of age, he had read this book called as Rich Dad Poor Dad some 3 times. So most of my children read a lot of financial literacy programs, books. I create a lot of financial literacy programs, so I do always teach them on a daily basis. So almost I spend at least 1 hour with them, sitting down and teaching them about financial literacy and things. But you can ask your children to read, if it's slightly older, ask him to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. If he's younger, they ask him to read Rich Kid Poor Kid. If you have not done that already, I would suggest that very strongly all your parents should pick up a book called as Rich Dad Poor Dad and go through that book. There's a lot of wisdom there. And take it upon yourself as a project, that your children are your projects, and talk to them about financial literacy. Believe me, kids pick up very, 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 very fast, and they are picking it up looking at you. So whatever you do is what they are going to observe. So I would suggest very strongly pick up this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read it multiple times. I have read that book at least about 13 times in last 18 years, and every time I read that book, I get some new wisdom. So there is no reason why you can't do it, right? Yeah. Company gives its stakes for share market. Bhushan is asking company, how much percentage does a company give stakes for share market? So you can actually share about 70 or 80% of your stocks into the stock market. Okay, it depends on how much does the promoter want to share. Let's say, for example, if I'm an ice cream business, I can actually keep 2% of my stock, and the rest 98 I can also sell it out. It depends on me. So it doesn't depend on somebody else. It depends on me. There are some companies who keep about 20% share with themselves. Rest 80 they give it to the market. There are some companies who only share 40%. There are some companies who only share about 5%. It depends on the companies. It doesn't depend on people who want to buy it, right? Deepa Shetty is asking, sir, how do you approve that somebody will invest in your market? Deepa, I'm not very sure I understand your question. Why don't you write this question down on Facebook and let me understand your question? And I'm pretty sure this question is very important and very critical for other people also. So why don't you type this question the way you think it is and put it on Facebook, and I will take it in the next session. Is that okay? Okay, so Deepa Shetty, this answer is for you. Ridhima Yadav is saying, no questions. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you so much, Ridhima. Thanks for attending. Thank you, Kaira Shah. Raj Handa says, how much time are we required to spend in a day to improve our skills in trading? Raj, it depends on how much money you want to make, right? If you are sitting down, I mean, sky is the limit when you are trading, really, you know. So the more knowledge base you have, the more skill sets you have, the better you are making money. It's like Sachin, you asking Sachin Tendulkar, sir, how many hours should I be, spending in, sharpening my batting skills? And Sachin probably will tell you 25 hours out of 24 hours. Because if it's going to be a profession, then you might as well put 25 out of 24 hours to skills. Because the higher the skill sets you have, the more money you make. And there is a lot of money to be made in the stock market once you have the skill sets, right? So Ahad Rupani says, where else do you post work like this, like on social media? Ahad, most of my work is on Facebook for two reasons. Number one is that we know how Facebook works, and we have security features in it, which means we can throw out people who spam it. So Facebook is where you need to be. Okay, so there is no harm in opening a Facebook account and being there, and get into the group called as Big Bull, and that's how you're going to be, right? I don't post it anywhere else because, like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. So I think this is where we come to the end of the session. Very sad that it just kind of shut down at the last moment. But this is, like I said, there's a first session. So we will have more sessions like this where we will take it a little bit slow. We'll take up one topic. I'll explain to you one topic in detail. We'll go to the next topic. I'll explain that second topic in detail. You can come down with your questions, type it on your Facebook page. I'll understand those questions. I'll give you answers to those questions, and we'll build up this program one step at a time. Right? So thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here. It's almost been an hour right now. And we will see you sometime somewhere again. And meanwhile, if you want to call your friends or your family into this program, send a request on Facebook group, and we will add you if you answer the question. All right? So goodbye and good night. Thank you so much.